Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us as we depart for our journey to freedom for forgiveness. Forgiveness for freedom. All right. Well, before we depart, let me ask you all a few questions. Has anyone in here ever been offended by someone else? Okay. Has anyone in here ever had an experience of some type of loss, the loss of a pet, a friend, something dear to you? Okay. And one last question. Has anyone in here, are you familiar with Mr. Miyagi from the karate movies? Mm-hmm. All right. Awesome. Well, it looks like our journey to forgiveness for freedom will not be foreign to any of you. So tonight we will learn about what unforgiveness is at our first 3 stops. Stop 1, we will learn that forgiveness is like baggage, too much baggage for one to carry. Stop 2, we will learn that unforgiveness is like a virus that can turn into a disease. And then also at our step 3, we will learn that unforgiveness is like an invisible prison. Is freedom what you see when you look into the mirror? Is that your reflection? Okay. All right, stop 1. Unforgiveness is like too much baggage for one to carry. Now, I think perhaps, I don't want to genderize, but perhaps only the women may relate to us wanting to take a lot of baggage with us from the car to the house. You know, that one trip, we just want to make it all in one trip. I don't want to have to go back to the car. So we're like putting on our backpack, picking up, we put 2 bags on this arm, 2 bags on this arm, and then our purses in our mouth, and we're shutting the door with our foot, and then we start off and we're walking super, super fast, and then those final 10 steps, we're walking slower, and now we're like this. It's like, oh my gosh, it's taking forever to get to the front door. Well, that is how unforgiveness can be. And with forgiveness, it's more than just letting go of an offense of when someone hurts our feelings. It's about letting go of the type of unhealthy emotions that may be toxic to our development along the process in life. So for instance, like a traumatizing event. Myself, I was a part of Hurricane Katrina that happened my senior year in high school, and for like 3 years I experienced anger from that grief. And as I look back, sometimes I reflect and I said, wow, I missed opportunities because I was unable to see them, because I was still shielded with that anger. But lo and behold, to Mr. Miyagi, he says everything can heal. It just takes time, takes patience. Stop 2. Unforgiveness is like a virus that can become a disease. For instance, if we had an experience where we felt jealousy towards someone, there was a time that I felt jealousy towards someone, and had I not addressed the issue, it could have turned into a disease to where now I'm just like envious towards all these different people for the rest of my life because I never addressed it when it was something small. A virus is an infectious minute agent that requires another living cell to produce other viral particles, versus a disease that is an abnormal state in the human body or psyche. And so when we do not take the time to let go of certain types of feelings and emotions that are not healthy for us, it can filter into our relationships. It can hinder our relationships with new people because it then turns into a disease. In the words of Mr. Miyagi, grief trapped in the heart become big anger. Lastly, our 3rd stop. Unforgiveness is like an invisible prison. So what about when we have hard times forgiving ourselves personally? Like Peggy just said, we are ourselves' worst evaluator, our worst critic. And there has been a time, because I could, I place high standards on myself, that I noticed I was condemning myself for not meeting those expectations, and I was in an invisible prison. And no one can hear me. No one can hear me. They don't even see the struggle. And so we want to accept ourselves, accept our flaws, accept our shortcomings, and just continue to work towards making ourselves better. It's not that big of a deal. For Mr. Miyagi says, for a person with no forgiveness in heart, living, even worse punishment, not death. I believe that is so if we're in an invisible prison. All right, so now we've made it to our destination, forgiveness for freedom. And I bet you're wondering, how do I forgive? How do I let go? And it's simple. Not always is easy. Forgiveness is a process, something that may have to be taken into account on a daily basis or even throughout the day. But each of us has the power to take off those things that may hinder our progression in life and replace it with what that we want to see. So from now on, I hope that each and every one of us, whenever we look in the mirror, freedom is our reflection. And not only that, we remember that if we happen to look on the mirror and see something else, we have the power to remove it. Thank you.